What up, brothers, and welcome back to my channel for yet another review, and it probably will be a biased review on the latest release from Damn Toys. Is the Gangsters Kingdom 3 of Diamonds Juarez. A lot of you guys might recognise him as the Danny Trejo caricature. Looking quite sweet. I'm going to get him scored up like I do, give you my opinion on him. I will start off by saying I received this on Friday. It was sent to me by Budget Stock, probably no surprise to you, massive thanks to him. I will say I did buy two, and if you remember the unboxing video, one of them did come with a damaged box. It pretty much looked like it had got a stab mark through the front cover. It was like somewhere there, and it did go through a couple of layers underneath. I will say I bought two to see if I could get a variant. I didn't, so the second one is for sale. Now I will say it's on eBay because I waste my time pretty much on Facebook advertising, but if somebody through Facebook does want to buy it, I will do it for a better price than advertised. But like I said, if you want to try your luck and bid for it, it is in the UK and you will receive it the day after you pay for it. So that is the case. So let's roll on to this and get some scores on the doors. I'll start off with source material like I normally do. Now, I always say on the Gangsters Kingdom figures, the source material is pretty much what your imagination can lead you to. I think going on the outfit and the character and sort of the styling of him, it comes across as like a Mexican, a desperado, or I don't know, like a mariachi sort of thing. From a lot of the Western style film, Mexican style films, and I think they've captured it really well. I will say as well that the bio inside the box, or the backstory, and the comic that they're now packaging also gives you some more source material to go on. But like I've said before, I really like the idea of giving us this range of characters with the loosely based on actors that we would all know, and just leaving you to sort of build a story in your mind. I know they do lead you now with the comic books that's coming with it, but whether you take that and roll with it, or whether you keep, I don't know, building the picture in your mind, that's pretty much how I do it. And I do like that that is the case with the source material. I will say, I've started thinking about this, and I don't know, because there isn't a source material as such, do I mark it down, or do I carry on scoring it really highly like I have been doing? Now, although I like the idea, some others would say, well, there is no source material, so why is it getting such a high score? All I can say to that is, I don't know, I suppose this is where the biased nature of the reviews comes into it. Because I like it and I'm only reviewing as me, I constantly score it up. I'm going to do it again on this one, although I can understand the guys who say it shouldn't get that source material point because there is no source material to go on as such. But like I said, now they're introducing the comic book, and already you got the bio in the box, and obviously the card ranking. There is a source material, although it's not like a representation of a movie character that we all know. So I am going to again give it a 5 out of 5 for source material, although I will concede that some of you might not rate it so highly. If you're not into it, you're not into it, but I am, and that's why it gets a 5 out of 5. Rolling on to the packaging, and again, I always score this category up because I do really like the artwork and the information that the box brings. Again, I will say I can understand why some who are not a fan of this line will criticise me or say that I am biased towards them because they don't see them as any better than a standard Hot Toys box. But like I said, I review as me, like I said before. So the things I do like about it, it is uniform in size to the other boxes I've seen. I do like the sort of the follow-on of the artwork. So again, you would get the figures head sculpt in profile surrounded by its group, so in this, or its gang, as in this case it would be the diamond shape surrounding the head. Moving down, it's the 3 of diamonds obviously, and then the titles on the bottom. It is basically a top quality card as usual, and as you can see if I get close, it does have sort of the flat red sections and then the really coarse black. Really good quality. As we turn it to the side, again, very uniform to the others. So moving down again, you get the titles, you get the serial number, the number Gangsters Kingdom 006. Then moving down, 3 diamonds, and it's the Day of the Dead symbol that features on the back of his waistcoat. So again, really nicely done. Moving down, Damn Toys on there as well. Moving to the back, I do like this artwork on this. It is obviously the figure, but it's sort of in the red monochrome box, and it does look really nice. Just one of the production shots, but obviously put onto the box. Again, it comes across as sort of like a blood red cloudy water sort of design, and really nice. Stands out. Probably would be one of the best ones in this line, I would think. So yeah, do like that about it. And then as we turn this side of the box is title free. So really nice touch. One of the new things that they're doing with the Gangsters Kingdom line that started with the side story Saxon figure, which I've also got, is the removable front. It is basically on a magnet on both sides of the spine. It just pulls forward, and inside you see you get this desert looking backdrop with the cattle bones down here. So again, it is like a monochrome film. It does look really nice. You could display it in that if you had the room to do so. So I do like that about it. So bearing in mind that is part of the packaging, that's why I've showed you. And also because the front cover is basically now removable, the inlay bio, which used to be on the underside of the front cover, is now on the slip sheet that comes inside. I'll start off showing you the card. So obviously it's the 3 of diamonds, and again a caricature cartoon shot of the figure. Again, looking really nice. Can't wait to form a full deck of cards with these figures on it. And then moving down, I'll move slowly in case you want to read it. It is the backstory of Juarez, otherwise known as the Butcher's Knife. So moving down, I hope you can read that if you choose to. I won't be reading it to you. And then when you remove that, it's now packaged with a comic book. So we'll show you that and give you a flick through the pages. So there you go, and a nice touch as well. The comic book that it brings is wrapped in plastic. Obviously better if you want to keep it as a keepsake. So I'm going to pop it open and we'll have a flick through the pages. So to show you the cover, now the plastic's removed. Sorry about the lights above, but it's quite hard to lay these comics down and sort of turn through them while I'm filming. But that's what I'm going to do. So we start off, obviously we've got the credits on the inside of the front cover, and obviously we have this artwork of the scorpion. It looks like it's eating some kind of wolf or dog or whatever. I'll hang you with your intestines. And then, as you see, it is just a black and white comic. It pretty much runs through a fight scene. I think it's the return to the Scorpion Gang. Showing you the artwork. If you want to read it, I would think you're going to buy the figure. So, just show you. There's just a comic book fight scene. A lot of sound effects going on. Artwork's pretty good, although I would say it's not as good as the artwork on the front cover, but it is nice, and it does make the I think it makes the figure quite sought after, because it's another point that other figures don't bring. So it is nice, and it does make me want to keep collecting them, especially if they're all going to bring these now. So it's quite graphic. It's cutting through the guy's face with a knife. Includes a lot of swearing, which I do like. Yep, moving down, it does in fact hang the guy with his intestines, I do think. And there you go. You can see he's receiving his card. This is the 2 of diamonds. Nice shot of them together. And then further in the book, you can see Bernie and Chad. That's the 3 and 4 of spades. So again, like I've said, it does show you how all the characters interact with each other, and obviously the more you build, the more of the story you get, which makes it really good. Makes you want to catch them all. Again, really nice. Something really cool about it. Last shot. And then just the back cover. Again, with the credits on the back. So, nice touch, nice packaging. Like I said, because it is of interest and it's not just something you take the figure out, chuck it on a shelf or smash it up or whatever you you choose to do with your boxes. I think there's something very collector friendly about them, and it does make you want to display them all together. I have seen some displayed together, and it looks a really, really good backdrop for every figure. So I am going to score the packaging again a 5 out of 5. Rolling on to his likeness, and as I've said before on the Gangsters Kingdom figures, they're not exact copies of any likeness. They're just a caricature of famous actors or characters that we would know. Obviously here, I won't be surprising you to tell you that it's the Mexican go-to guy, Danny Trejo. And I don't know, it's self-explanatory looking at it. The really deep indentations on the face, the mouth shape, again the deep set eyes, the long black hair this time. This is the first one that's had rooted hair, and as you can see, they've done quite a nice job of it. Going down his back on this one, obviously you can put it into a ponytail. It is got some kind of product in it, but I think over a couple of days when you get it pushed into the position you want, it does break up a little bit. Obviously, if you wanted to wash the product out of it, it would be easy enough to do. I would just recommend lukewarm water. Just like soak for a while, maybe even use some air conditioner, something like that, but I haven't. That's pretty much still got the product in from the box, and it does look pretty good. Just to show you the pose, I've got him as if he's just walked into the bar or onto the scene, pulled his coat open, and just showing you the blades inside. Yeah, nice setup. He's a one-man knife factory. That's what he is, that lad. But yeah, going back to the likeness, really, really good. Again, really clean paint, cartoony sculpt, but nice paint job, subtle. You do still get the sort of the puck marks on the face, or the pigmentation, should I say. And then obviously from the flesh to the facial hair. Again, the facial hair is quite cartoony also. But yeah, I just do really like them. Fit into character really well with the others, and a nice addition. Again, I'm biased with the score simply because it is a line that I like, and I do like the if they'd have done them and just done straight up copies like Hot Toys do of the actors in question, then would they be so cool? I don't know, because I don't know. It's the caricature nature that I like about it, so I'm glad they're not just representations of the character in a more accurate sense like Hot Toys do. So that doesn't kill the head sculpt or the likeness for me. I think it's, I think that is part of the game, so to speak. I don't know much more I can say because I pretty much say the same thing on every time I do one of these Gangsters Kingdom figures, so you could pretty much watch any one of the reviews and you would get my thoughts on the likeness, because I don't know, some are closer to the actor than others, but like I've said, it's not really a case of that for me. It's more, does the actor that they've chose fit the character, the clothing they've got, and the bio that they've written up, and I always think they do, so I'm more than happy with them. On the likeness, because the head sculpt is so clean and well painted, and I don't know, the expression is fitting with the outfit and the weapons he brings, I am going to give the likeness a 5 out of 5. Probably no surprise to you, and again, will come across really, really biased. Rolling on to his outfit, and again, it probably won't be no surprise, another strong category for this line. Choice of materials is, I don't know, unmatched, I think, if I'm being honest, because they never seem to get it wrong. And I'm not saying Hot Toys do, but there's certain times when Hot Toys they bring a figure out and you think, I'm thinking of Captain America, nearly always uses the wrong material for me. The Joker's DX11 coat, wrong material for me. Probably Indiana Jones's jacket, just to name a few, just wrong material for me. These, in general, don't do it. If it's supposed to be a leather, they use a really good leather or pleather. In this case, the duster, which would be the sort of the cowboy style jacket, is just excellently done. It's like really, feels like really, really worn hide or some kind of cracked up leather. Just works really well. It's pretty lightweight. The scale is amazing. The cut and stitch are unbelievable as usual. The appearance of the dual layered collar, really well done. Sort of the patchwork on the back with the button, sort of the across the shoulder section there. think if I get in close, you'll get a good idea of what the material is. Really, really good. And the lapels, both shoulders with the buttons on. Really well done. And I've noticed on this one as well, there's no thread or out like that hanging off. It's just really well tailored. It is lined inside the body section, but not down the arms, so it don't make it too bulky. Again, good scale belt. And I will say, another thing I really like about it is when it's on and closed, it closes with these, it has two press studs, one here and one here, and it closes there, and then the belt wraps round into the metal belt buckle. It's just the right length coat, so that, so that coat were closed, you don't see the arsenal of daggers that he's got underneath. So I like that. It's not like it's a second thought. They've got the old look in the mind, and it just works. Like I say, really, really nice touch. I don't think I've seen a coat that's of this type that's better quality. I think the closest thing to it, if I had to pick something, would be the X-Men Origins Wolverine. That sort of feel to it. Maybe the John Connor first version coat. That's the sort of quality I'm talking about. So yeah, really nice. Just to show you the pose, I've got both his machetes in his hand. Got one out at arm's length and the other one by his side. Just to show it off, because I am going to remove the coat in a minute. And then I'm going to show you the layers underneath, because they are also amazing. So yeah, that's the coat in general. Let's get it took off. Talk about the clothing underneath that. And now with the coat removed, you see, he still looks amazing. Mainly down to the attachments that he has on him, but also to do with the tailoring. Let's start from the bottom up. The cowboy boots are a black plastic with a sort of flame style patchwork or sections up the boot. See, it's the appearance of the leather zip, of the metal zip, although it's not, it's just sculpted. And then as you see, as I turn it round, it's as if the heel is metal plated, although again it's not, it's just a paintwork. Really, really nice. The detail is really good and really clean looking, really well painted, even down to, you see the skull design side of boot. Really, really nice touch. Like I said, for cartoony figures, they really do put a lot of love into the head sculpts and the outfits. Moving up, and before we move up, the faux leather pants, I've got to say, put the Crow's leather pants to shame. The feel of them, the quality of them, the cut, the stitch, the scale, just so much better. And that's hard to say, because these figures retail come in at under £100. The Crow, I think, probably retail about 140, 150 maybe. And like I say, the honest truth is this blinds it. I think the only leather trousers I've seen better than this is probably the DX10. That is how highly I rate them. So look at it. Really, really nice and supple feeling. Again, fit really well. No appearance of these hollow sections where the legs are, like on the Darth Vader I'm thinking of. Just looks really good. As it comes round, see the stitch work across the back of the knees, and then the fake pockets on the back, and then going up to the thick black leather belt. And as you see, the side sheaths for the Gurkha style knives are attached. Really easy to fit, and when they're in place, they do look really nice. Next, the belt. On the standard version is silver, the belt buckle I should say. On the variant it is gold. I do like it, and it is a focal part of the outfit, and I think it looks awesome. Just to show you the detail on it. Again, the skull motif and the details around the outside. Really well done. Moving up, you see he does have a long sleeve black t-shirt, which sort of fits around the neck nicely. It's pushed up so it's you don't see the elbow joint as such. Really well done. And then again, the faux leather waistcoat underneath that's buttoned up, and underneath the knife harness. But you can see up the front it has like a flame design. I'm not going to remove this because I think you have to undo the lace at the back, which I'm a little bit reluctant to do because I think if I put it back on, it wouldn't look as neat. But if I show you there, you can untie that and remove the harness. The only thing that, because the harness won't be coming off, you don't really see the Day of the Dead point of no return patch on his back. Again, excellently done. I will say his waistcoat is stitched up at the sides, as you can see. Again, really well tailored to the body. I just think it's, I don't know, people pass them off and say, well, I'm an Hot Toys collector and damn toys aren't of the standard. That's total bullshit, I've got to be honest. I was naive to them as well, but when I picked the first one up and I looked at the J and the 2 and I saw the materials they're using, I'm like, fucking hell, these are really, really nice. And it's sort of disguised because of the cartoon nature. But really good. Again, the harnesses are good. I'm thinking of, remember the Winter Soldier I reviewed when all the press studs get falling off? Not a sign of it on these. Really well glued in place. The buckles, really good. Just, I don't know, really well done. The metal hoops, really good detail. Moving down, each wrist has one of these sort of, I forgot what they're called now, like a faux leather gauntlet sort of thing with a lace stitch up. I know there's a proper name for it, I can't remember what it is now. You see it's laced up at the inside, at the inner wrist, like so. Nice touch because obviously it covers the wrist joint. As you see as well, it does cover the snake tattoo down this wrist and onto his hand. And on the other side, it's a scorpion, as you see. See the scorpion tail coming down to the scorpion tattoo on his hand. So it is covered up by this sort of gauntlet. Oh, I forgot the real name for it. I can't think. But yeah, nice all the way around. And even his chain, if you're including that as his outfit, that's even well done as well. Top tailoring on this, I've got to say. Choice of materials, bang on, all the way around. There's nothing weak about it. Cut and stitch, really neat, really well done. Functional and good looking. The only downside is the boots kill the ankle articulation, but I would give that up because the looks are good. I will mention something else about the boots as well, but I'll do that on articulation. But all in all, a top outfit, and I could only give it, again, a 5 out of 5. Going on to articulation, and I'll start off by telling you that gun obviously don't come with him. Although he does bring a trigger hand, which is quite confusing because he doesn't bring a gun at all. So I don't know how he does it. I think we're just seeing stock hands from these figures. And that's not all that's stock. The body is pretty much stock as well. And I've heard a few people mentioning that we need some size differences. I think there is subtle size differences, but it's mainly down to sort of the head and hair design, and also the size of the boots or heels that they're wearing. So there is slight differences if you've got them all stood together. I do believe there is a fatter one coming soon with the likeness of what's his name now? Fuck, I can't remember his name. That fat dude. Wasn't that John Goodman? Is it John Goodman? Yeah, John Goodman. Sorry about that. I fucking had a brain fart. Yeah, so we're going to see a bigger style body. It probably will still be the same body, but with a padded bodysuit on. But anyway, I like the body. Only downside to it from a looks point of view is sometimes the shoulders look a little bit small, a little bit puny looking. But I think that's also down to the size of the head. Obviously, the cartoony balloon head, it does leave the shoulders looking a little bit narrow and a little bit sunk sometimes. Not too bad on this one, I will say. From an articulation point of view, you do lose a little bit of articulation through the neck because it only has the ball joint at the bottom. And also in the ankles, like I said, the boots are really hard on this figure. So you do lose sort of the rotation a little bit and the definite tilt and pivot and everything through the ankles. So I would forget about the ankle articulation on this one. The knees are double bend. The hip sections move really well. There is rotation, crunch, double bend elbows, and really good shoulder articulation with a slight ratchet joint as well. Hands swap on and off really nicely because each hand has its own wrist stem. And like I said, moving up, limited articulation in the neck. So I really like the body. Although, I'm going to say this, I would normally give the body a 5, I think, because the articulation in the neck don't bother me. And like I said before, I would sooner it not articulate but not have the messy joint underneath the ear. So I don't mind that at all. This one I'm going to mark it down, and I'm actually going to mark it down 2 places to only a 3. And that's simply because the lack of ankle articulation, that's one thing. But because of the style of the boot as well, it's nearly impossible to stand without having a crutch grab stand on him. It's sort of like he's always going to tilt back because there's no support. I think if I turn him, it's to do with the shape of the heel, I think. He's never fully balanced. Now, I don't mind it, like I said, not having the ankle articulation, but to the extent that he can't stand up when they don't supply a stand, I think that's too much. And if I only knocked it down 1, that wouldn't have been fair. So I am going to move the articulation down to only a 3 on this one. The Gangsters would normally get a 5, but I can't do it when the figure can't stand unassisted. So that's how I would explain that. But all in all, again, does pose nicely, looks natural. I don't suppose there'd be anything. There's no restriction through the trousers really, or the clothing upper body. Even if the coats on his arms will still move quite freely, and I do like that about it. So like I said, the only niggle would be the ankles, and that is why I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. And also, before I move on, I know it's nothing really to do with the articulation, but I just wanted to show that the hair, as you can see, I've got in quite a loose ponytail, so that is an option as well. I am actually gonna now try and do something different with the hair that I've not seen done, but it's down to my missus. So I'll put a cut in here and see what she can do. Scratch that idea with hair. Tried to get our lass to put a French plait in back, but weren't having none of it. A little bit out of scale on hair and a little bit too thick and clumpish. Couldn't do it, bless her. So I've just had to give a few slaps, right? Slappy chops, and now we're all good. So anyway, moving on to the extras, and although it does come with a lot of knives, there is other things that would keep the score down. So let's talk about what we do get. Obviously, the awesome looking figure, only one head sculpt. The variant brings the same head sculpt, although it has got blood splatter marks all over his face. As we move down, you see he's got the 3 throwing knives that are across the harness, and then he's got the 2 butcher style knives, which I'll probably display him with next. Moving down, he gets the 2 Gurkha style knife sheaths, which are really well done with a lace effect and the sort of toggle hanging down. He's holding those blades, and as you can see, he's got the blood spatter as well. The variant has a gold metallic scorpion on one and a snake on the other, although this isn't the variant, as you can see. And as I said before, this has the silver belt buckle, the variant has a gold belt buckle. And then moving down, first absence that it would have required, or would have been nice if they just put your plain generic stand in, it saves you having to keep buying them. So as you can see, I'm using an Hot Toys base. That will have some decals on soon. Obviously, if you take into account the fact that your decals are about £4, a new stand's about 6-7 quid, really you've got to put another, you know what I mean, 10-11 quid on top of price at figure to get a stand. I do prefer my figures with stands, although others don't, but I've got a funny feeling if you didn't use a stand on this guy, he'd be falling down regular. Moving down, the other stuff that's not on him, he gets these little knives, and I think they actually, you put 2 in either behind the wraps here, or once the blade's in, you can put them down either side of the blade. I think that's where the little knives go. So yep, so that he gets the 2 large machetes, 2 completely different blades. Both are blood spattered. See, nice. I do like those blades, to be honest. In fact, I do like all of them, to be honest. The trigger holding hand, although like I said, it doesn't bring a gun, a pistol, anything like that. Could have maybe done with a revolver or a sawn-off shotgun, something like that, but it didn't, and obviously that's because he specialises in knives, so it would have made the knives a little bit irrelevant if he'd have got a gun. And then obviously, like I covered on the outfit, the awesome looking coat. Again, lined inside, he does have his own patch inside it, and it is a right touch. I don't know if I would display with the coat on, to be honest. It's a nice option, but I'm thinking about using the coat to make a different outfit for the Sideshow Saxon figure. So I might do that, like take him out the prison wear and use that jacket, because it's too good to be inside the accessories box. So it is nice, but I don't know if I would cover up all the harnesses and everything on this figure using the coat. So because there's no spare head, there's no stand, I am going to knock the extras down to a 3 out of 5. Right, and finally onto value and the overall score. As you can see, this time got imposed with a little butcher's knives from the centre harness on his waistcoat. Not too extreme with the posers, but just wanted to get through, get it done and get the review up. So I will say, most of you guys know these figures retail around £100 mark, and I think that's excellent value. When some of the Hot Toys this day and age are going for like 200, I think these have got to be worth every penny of the 100 we pay for them. Like I've said before, they are a little bit different. Not everybody's going to like them, but I like that about it. But like I said, they don't, because the price is low, they don't skimp on quality or the things they put in with it. I really like the line, as you know, particularly my Facebook friends, because I post pictures regularly of them. So yeah, I'm going to give the value a 5 out of 5. I don't know how much cheaper they could get, and I don't know if they could start adding a few more things. Some have had spare heads and the likes, and I suppose they all could. If one can, I suppose they all can. But I'm more than happy to have paid around the £100 mark for this. So I would say, if you do collect the line, you're probably going to have had this on pre-order, or you've got it already. If you don't collect the line but you're interested, I would say this is a good start off. Don't let the fact that you've missed out on the earlier ones sort of put you off the idea of starting collecting these. I think if you were to buy this one, even just as a Danny Trejo representation, I think that this is a sort of figure that you could get, and it would sort of draw you into the line. Or even if it's a matter that you pick and choose which characters you want, I think this one would be a nice place to start. It is a really, really good one. So yeah, not much more I can say. I've given the value a 5 out of 5, which is pretty much expected. That gives the total amount 31 out of a possible 35. Like I said at the beginning, the Damn Toys Gangster Kingdom figures, I always review them quite biased, because I do take pride in sort of building a collection of them. So I suppose I know that, and people accuse me all the time, so I feel if I admit it, then they're going to stop accusing me of it. So yeah, that's the case. So like I said, it did get 31 out of a possible 35. That's another review done. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember what I said at the beginning, if you are interested in this figure, there is one in the UK at the moment. I own it, although the box does have slight damage, but the figure is mint condition. If you're interested, let me know. I will knock the price down for friends, obviously. Other than that, it's on eBay as we speak. So happy bidding if that's the way you want to go. If you want to talk to me and you want to put an offer in, chances are I'll take it, depending on what it is. But for now, it's Uncle Clipper, and I'm out of here.